You heard J. Cole's album.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Carolinas all day.
Album of the year, I feel. I had put up an Instagram post that said that J. Cole saved 2014. And it got like 1,000 likes, like, you know.
I'm not going to go so far as to say he saved it. I thought 2014 was a pretty decent year for rap music. But
Decent?
It was decent, but you got to think 2013, all the heavy hitters came out.
Right.
Like everybody came out in 2013. Like Jay-Z, Drake, like everybody, Kanye, like everybody dropped, you know, in 2013. So it's like there was nothing, the clip was empty, you know?
Fire Squad.
Love it.
Love it. The line about white rappers.
It's a dope line, but it's listen, man, this is the thing, man. White rappers in hip hop, the fear that black rappers have of white rappers in hip hop is the same fear that America had over Ebola. Okay? The threat of Ebola in America was never really a threat. It was 2 people in America who died from Ebola. 2!
Yeah.
This is West Africa. I can totally understand the media, you know, doing the fear mongering they were doing and ringing all the bells they were doing and everybody going crazy the way they were if it was like it was in West Africa. It wasn't like that here in America at all. And that's how I feel about white rappers in hip hop. He named 4 people. He named Eminem, Macklemore, Iggy Azalea, Justin Timberlake, who's not even a rapper. Let's just eliminate Eminem
And Elvis.
And Elvis, okay. But let's talk about people from this era.
Right.
Let's eliminate Eminem and Justin Timberlake for one reason. Number one, they're talented. You can't take away that Eminem and Justin Timberlake aren't talented. I don't care if Eminem was Spanish. I don't care if he was Mexican. I don't care if he was Indian. Eminem is dead nice.
Right.
Period. Can't nobody argue that. And you can possibly argue that he don't get the props he deserves because he's white. I don't ever mention M as a GOAT. I just don't. Number one, I couldn't relate to M, even though I can, sonically understand the artistic merit of his words, but I never was into him. I just know he's a super nice MC. So you could just eliminate him because he's dope. Same thing with Justin Timberlake. He's dope. He can sing, he can dance, he can act. He deserves everything that he's gotten. Right. So you can eliminate those two.
And in fact, he had kind of a big strike against him being in a boy band.
Yes, and he started from the bottom. Yeah. He went from the Mickey Mouse Club, the NSYNC, to now being a big solo artist, being an actor and all that. Let him cook. He's fine. Iggy and Macklemore. Listen, I would have signed Iggy 4 years ago. I told y'all Iggy Azalea was going to be a star. So from a business standpoint, I would have signed her. But yo, is she a dope MC? No. She's just a pretty girl who has some good records. That's it. You know who Iggy reminds me of? She really reminds me of Charlie Baltimore. Rapping wise, she reminds me of Charlie Baltimore.
Okay, I could sort of see that.
Rapping wise, let's go listen to old Charlie Baltimore and listen to Iggy. And Charlie wasn't whack, and Iggy ain't whack, you know? But I would have signed her.
But what about the authenticity that you were talking about? Because that's one thing that's always kind of bothered me about Iggy. I always have had a problem with listening, to a rapper where you just have no idea where they come from, who they are as a person, whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing Australia in any of her records.
Like, that argument makes no sense to me. Because hip-hop, 90% of hip-hop is fabrication and illusion. Why is Iggy the poster child? We let all of this fake shit go on in hip-hop all the time, and now all of a sudden, Iggy Azalea is the punching bag? This is my thing. J. Cole named 4 people. Justin Timberlake, Eminem, who are talented, so we can eliminate them. Iggy Azalea and Macklemore. That's disrespectful to hip-hop. That's disrespectful to all the work that hip-hop has put in. Hip-hop's been here for almost 50 years. You got all these brothers, all these sisters that have not only built a genre of music, but a culture that has impacted the world. And 2 rappers, 2 white rappers from the past 2 years got you shook to death. Oh, now all of a sudden, they about to take the culture from us. Oh my God, they're taking our sound and this and that. How?
Okay, well here's an interesting, comparison. And I think, I was talking to Lord Jamar, on camera yesterday about this, and he actually keyed me into this because I had missed it. And I believe it was on Angie Martinez when J. Cole did an interview on Angie recently, right? Mm-hmm. And he said that he went on iTunes recently to check out, some new jazz artists. and he could not find any black jazz artists on iTunes.
I have a theory about that, and the reason I have a theory about that is because I have a good friend who's a great jazz lover, and I even asked him about that because I heard that.
Yeah.
And this is my theory: jazz just wasn't cool to a younger generation, so young black kids didn't get into it. It's like baseball almost. Baseball is damn near predominant. It's Spanish. It's a great percentage of it that's Spanish and Dominican and all that. Black kids aren't playing baseball like they used to. Young black kids aren't getting into jazz like they used to. You know why? Because of this great thing we built called hip hop. Ain't nobody picking up no saxophone saying, yo, I want to be a sax player.
Well, in New Orleans they are.
Okay, New Orleans has been the jazz capital of the world for years, so I'm glad that they're holding on to their culture.
Right, that's it.
That's it. Hip hop is the culture. Okay. My whole thing is, why are we that scared of white people that two white rappers who on a scale of 1 to 10, who on a scale of 1 to 10, Macklemore and Iggy. And I think Macklemore's cool. I think Macklemore deserves what he's gotten because he's fearless. Because wasn't no black rappers gonna make a record like Same Love.
Right.
They know that was just for you. Your first bar saying, when I was young, I thought I was gay. Hey, you deserve to sell millions of records for having that kind of heart in hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay? So, two rappers have us that shook. All of a sudden, they about to steal the whole rap sound. What does that say about what we've built in the hip hop community?
I mean, I had Chris Webby here a few months ago, and he said that he looked on the hip hop charts around that time, and it was predominantly white rappers on the hip hop charts.
How is it? It's not even predominantly white rappers in hip hop.
But,
so who?
But at that time, I mean, there was G-Eazy.
Okay.
Chris Webby, of course, I think had cracked the charts.
When they say let's be clear. When Chris Webby said he cracked the charts, he was probably like number 190 out of 200. Like, come on, man. Let's be clear, Vlad. Like, okay, stop it. Like, we got to stop this, man. Stop it. Listen, if they wanted to whitewash hip-hop, they would have whitewashed hip-hop a long time ago. You know why? Because all the executives are white. That's why you gotta applaud. That's why you gotta applaud the Jay-Z's, applaud Diddy, applaud the Mike Kaisers, the Kevin Lyles, the Russell Simmons. Applaud those guys, those black brothers, the Jay Princes, the Master P's. Those are the black executives that showed us we can be executives too.
I mean, what's his name? Who runs Epic?
L.A. Reid.
L.A. Reid.
L.A. Reid been around for 30 years. He's one of the few.
Right. But he is a high-ranking executive.
And he's been keeping black music alive for a long time. But this is the other thing that we got to start realizing. It's not about black or white. Hip-hop ain't that kind of culture anymore. Hip-hop is a culture that affects kids from all over the world. And who are we to tell white people they don't belong in hip-hop, but then get mad when white people tell us, well, y'all don't belong in America then. You don't belong in the White House. You don't belong on our golf courses. That's why I like to be the change I want to see in the world. So I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated.
So do you think, the Grammys are coming up, I believe, next month. Do you think Iggy's going to win?
Iggy probably is going to win. But who gives a shit? You know why? Because the Grammys ain't never... Listen, why is all of a sudden this Grammy shit, why does it mean so much to y'all? The Grammys have historically never gave a fuck about hip-hop. They've never gotten it right when it comes to hip-hop. I remember Outkast winning Album of the Year. I remember Lauryn Hill winning 5 Grammys. What I noticed from the Grammys is they usually give it to the most commercial artists of that year. And at that time, Outkast was the most commercial artist of that year. And I mean commercial in a good way, meaning that their music was everywhere. Mainstream America embraced them. Same thing with Lauryn Hill at that time. Listen, do we not remember when ODB rushed the stage at the Grammys and took the Grammy and said, yo, Diddy is cool, but Wu-Tang is for the children.
Yeah.
P. Diddy's No Way Out album beat Wu-Tang Forever that year. Like, come on.
No Way Out wasn't a bad album.
It wasn't better than Wu-Tang Forever. Name 3 songs off No Way Out.
Let's see. There was Victory.
Okay.
Which was brilliant.
Yep.
There was...
Go ahead and say Missing You, because you're trying not to, but you go ahead and give it. Go ahead, because that's the 2.
Right. Was it Young G's Perspective, or is that was...
I don't even know. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I know Jay-Z was on that album.
Jay-Z was on that album.
Right.
But Wu-Tang Forever had Triumph, It's Yours, Reunited, Dog Shit. It was a great album.
No Way Out was a pretty good album, though.
It wasn't better than
I'm not a fan of Diddy rapping, personally.
And
you know what I'm saying? But...
And that was the era where people were still dope, Vlad. Like, it was dope MCs.
Right. And Biggie executive produced it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was not a throwaway album.
I think No Way Out might have beat Life After Death that year, too. I think all of that was up for grabs. I think it was Wu-Tang Forever, No Way Out, Life After Death. I think all of that was up for Grammys that year. I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
But I'm saying all this to put it in perspective. ODB rushed the stage to let y'all know the Grammys didn't get it right. Jay-Z boycotted the Grammys one year because he said the Grammys.
Well, no, but they weren't actually showing the hip hop category on TV.
He said they don't show hip hop the respect they deserve.
Right.
That's what Jay-Z said. So why do we give a fuck? Young MC won a fucking Grammy. Bust a Move. I think that shit beat like NWA and Public Enemy that year.
Right.
Like, why do we give a shit?
Will Smith won a Grammy.
Will Smith, I keep telling y'all this. Will Smith deserved his Grammy, dog. I bet you if you look who he was up against, it was some real hip hop shit. So therefore, you're proving your point again. They have never given a fuck about real hip hop. So why do we get upset when Macklemore beats Kendrick, Iggy beats J. Cole? Fuck it. Fuck the Grammys. I don't need a motherfucking Grammy to solidify that I'm a great artist. Like a Grammy don't make me say, yeah, Macklemore's better than Kendrick.
But a Grammy in music is the highest honor.
Well, the Grammys.
I mean, it's true.
Well, the Grammys need to get some real young people on that rap committee that really know music then, because clearly they don't. And let's be clear, it's 2 white people up for a Grammy this year. Iggy Azalea and Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino's white.
All right. Okay. So I would much rather have Iggy win the award.
Why Childish Gambino white?
If Childish wins, you think Kanye embarrasses himself when he goes on stage and tries to say some political deep shit? Childish Gambino gonna go up there and you gonna be like, boy, you gonna say, I wish he was white. Y'all gonna be saying, hey, trade Childish for Iggy, please. Y'all gonna be begging, trade Childish for Iggy right now. If Childish Gambino wins.
What do you think Childish Gambino's gonna say if he wins?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. That's what I'm telling y'all.
I thought y'all two were cool now.
Nah, you know what, man? I don't have no problem with Childish Gambino. For some reason, he wants me to have a problem with him, and I don't. I can be sitting there talking to Childish, and it's like he'll be arguing with me and be telling me that I keep hating on him, and I'm like, Childish, I like you. You know why I like him? Because he's a free spirit.
Right.
He stinks. Don't get me wrong. He got a terrible smell, but he's a free spirit.
He has a terrible smell?
Oh, his odor is horrible. You didn't see when I had him at the Powerhouse and I interviewed him, he was funky as fuck. And I was like, I had to tell him, like, yo, you stink, bro. Like, he was like, Charlamagne, I need you to hate me. I'm like, no, you need a shower. That's what you need.
I mean, I love that. I mean, I actually love that song with Jhené Aiko.
I don't remember it. Oh, no, I do remember that record.
Yeah.
But
Dope record. I mean, 3005 was a dope record.
Listen, Childish is cool.
I actually am kind of hoping Childish is going to win. I'll be honest. Just because of the creativity and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's not a typical rap album. It's not a typical, you know what I mean? Like,
for somebody like me, I want a motherfucker like Schoolboy Q to win. Whenever I see Schoolboy Q, he's the same person. He's a cool dude. Yeah. And he was the underdog in TDE in a lot of ways. Because people would always, of course, talk about Kendrick. They would always talk about Ab-Soul. But Schoolboy Q just worked his ass off, got his project out, and his project did great. I would love to see somebody like him win the Grammy. Absolutely. But it's going to be one of the white guys.
It's going to be
people. It's going to be Iggy or Childish.
It's going to be very interesting if, you know, Macklemore beating out Kendrick and then Iggy beating out Schoolboy Q. Like, you know, TDE taking 2 losses in a row like that to white rappers would actually be kind of interesting.
Yeah, but guess what? Once again, it's Ebola. It's 2 deaths. Okay? 2 deaths. White rappers in Ebola are not a threat. White rappers in America are not a threat, dog. I just want y'all to know that. White rappers in America will never threaten this culture we built. It ain't gonna be no Elvis shit where Elvis can come in and take credit for rock and roll. No, we've got way too much history invested in this great culture of ours, man. Sorry. Like Jay-Z said on the OWN network, yo, you can't teach a little young white kid about racism when they got a Snoop Dogg poster on their wall. You got white kids right now who look at other white kids and be like, yeah, you a poser, dog. For trying to be something they're not, for trying to act like they into this hip hop culture. This hip hop culture is not going anywhere. And guess what? It is so much ours that it's okay to share it with others.